just jump to 2.
Generous.
Yeah, let's just
Too fast. Too furious.
The greatest gay action movie of all time.
Act the fool.
Oh my God, this one. Okay. This one is directed by John Singleton, who actually did
Where is Devello? He's supposed to be representing the council here. This movie is coded for the council, chief.
Yep. But he did 4 Brothers, Boys in the Hood, Okay, no, these are producer roles. But yeah, this man's had his hands on a lot of stuff, including Boys in the Hood, Shaft. Like, this man was out here doing the most for the black community, actually.
Yeah, he actually, I think his last project was Snowfall before he passed on. And also, a lot of people actually give him props. If it wasn't for John Singleton, Ice Cube wouldn't be an actor. Number 2 is, if it wasn't for John Singleton, Tyrese wouldn't be an actor. Ludacris actually got the Hollywood Walk of Fame either late last year or early this year, and it's all thanks to John Singleton, because if he wasn't in Too Fast, Too Furious, Vin Diesel wouldn't have used him in Fast 5 and going forward in the rest of the franchise. So, because funny enough, Ludacris did mention that he never thought that he would get a Walk of Fame from acting. He thought he would get a Walk of Fame from his music contributions, not acting. But funny enough, thanks to Vin Diesel adding on to all these other sequels, now he has a Walk of Fame.
His music is better than his acting, bro.
Okay, that goes without saying.
That's true. That's true. But I guess
Tupac a chance as well. Poetic Justice, one of my favorite black movies of all time. Growing up.
Fun fact about Poetic Justice: Ice Cube was actually supposed to land the role of Lucky in Poetic Justice, but Ice Cube didn't like a certain part of the script, and then he declined, and then Tupac got the role of Lucky. So.
I think it was better with Tupac anyway. I'm glad he didn't take it. I don't think it would have suited him.
Oh no, I got this song in my head. Is that your wife, your girlfriend, or just your main bitch? Okay.
What?
What?
Maybe that's
wrong to place the lyrics.
Huh?
What?
I thought you were about to start saying "hit 'em up" lyrics or something.
I just want to say something.
That's why I stole your car, you fat mother. Make money.
I just want to say something quickly. So there's a name that keeps on coming up in some of these Fast and Furious movies. It's Neil H. Moritz. This guy has produced so many things, including The Boys, Sonic the Hedgehog films, Prison Break, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Cruel Intentions, and the Fast and Furious franchise. If you look at the credits, Neil H. Moritz is almost everywhere. He also produced the Triple X movies. So I just wanted to add that in there.
What happened with Return of Xander Cage? He needs to answer, because guys, that movie, guys.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he did Return of Xander Cage. He only did the first one and then State of the.
Well, even the first one is not that great.
Nobody talks about.
I tried to watch it again recently, and I was like, I should not have revisited this movie.
It did not age well.
I think it's a 100% 90s movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it fits in that time period.
Well, I mean, you think that honestly, yeah, but who of you definitely want to go back to the 90s movies?
Matrix 1 was fire.
Well, it depends. I mean, the first Bad Boys is good.
Riddick, we just mentioned Riddick right now. Who wants to go back to the 90s?
Hey, dog, I'm not done with the 90s, man. You know, these kids nowadays say we're done with the 90s. Not me, man.
For me, the 90s is the best.
Everybody's going to be back in.
Is the best decade for me personally. It was the best decade for me.
I mean, yeah, they had Terminator 2. Like, there was a lot of stuff that came out of the 90s.
Buckmeister.
Say?
Buckmeister.
Yeah?
To answer your question, the lyrics I was reciting was from that song, Rollout.
Oh, Limp Bizkit.
Okay,
anyway,
let me just add one last thing in before we continue.
Ludacris. Search up Rollout Ludacris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit is keep
Roll
rolling.
out, my homie, roll out.
Oh, roll out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so the budget for this film was 76 million, and then it made 236.4 million at the box office.
ouch.
76 million.
No. It had a budget of 76 million, and it made 236.4
Yeah,
million.
I'm saying like it made a good return, but like I think other thing people need to understand about movies, right? Because I think also the third one did okay-ish. We'll talk about it when we talk about it. But I think like people, a movie can still make money and people can still lose interest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think because these major corporations, they expect exponential growth. They don't expect their audience to stay exactly the same as the exact same people. They expect new people. And because of that, they didn't get new people. That's why this movie kind of put them in trouble, which is why Fast and the Furious 3 ended up like, anyway, there was drama attached to Fast and the Furious 3 because people weren't too happy about the end result of Fast and the Furious 2.
What happened in 2? Remind me again, which one is 2?
And also the fact that they
greatest
couldn't get
gay
Vin
action
Diesel
movie
back,
of
I
all
think was a
time.
major problem.
Eva
Okay.
Mendes at her finest. Prime Eva Mendes. That's what happened.
2 by 2 Furious.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
But also, I just want to say, I think he declined this sequel for Chronicles of Riddick, if I remember correctly, Rob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, I think this franchise, I think he didn't have as much faith in the script per se, not the franchise, but then he went to Chronicles of Riddick because that was his baby, and yeah, I think he overshot the mark with Riddick, but that's its own story.
First one was good.
Of course, it was an actual horror movie. It was flippin' fantastic. Like, I've got a whole, one day we'll go into.
And I think you guys are right, because if you think about how we first meet Roman, you could argue that if Vin Diesel had agreed to this, that's where we could have met Dom, arrested, somewhere in custody, and then he has to be like freed by Brian, because Brian knows that he's the only person that he can rely on to nail this villain, this guy that's out there.
Yeah, true.
Actually,
I mean, he had a
48
criminal
hours.
past.
Have you guys seen the movie 48 Hours?
48 hours.
No. I think it's Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah. Basically, the idea there is there's a criminal, Eddie Murphy, that Nick Nolte takes out to go look for a criminal. That's what they could have done with Vin Diesel. They could have used him to be like, we need a bigger guy. You have connections to him. And then he comes out, and that would be the cool second.
I mean, that's why they tried to do the whole backstory between Roman and Brian, that they grew up in juvie and all of that stuff.
Yes. And all the other subtext. And them wrestling on the ground and driving each other. I saw that video. I was like, you know what? I need to apologize.
No, it's not even just there. Like, you got to understand, throughout the movie, right? They have this weird thing where Roman is like a jealous girlfriend. Because every time Brian is trying to talk to Eva Mendes, Roman is just in the corner, like, why are you talking to her?
Yeah, like I told him that move. I told him that I'm the one that showed
like
him.
He's always just kicking in the door, and Brian will be about to make out with Eva Mendes' character. I forgot her name, but he'll be about to, and Roman will show up like, what the fuck are you doing over here?
What are you doing with my man? This is my man. We broke up years ago, and
like, I kept his booty warm in juvie. Where was you?
Okay, I think we should rate this.
Before we start rating, I mean, let's just beyond the
homoeroticism.
You guys interested. I just think this is also like, okay, you set up Tyrese as Roman Pierce, and ironically, this is probably Roman at his most useful, if that makes sense.
At his most competent, because
this is before he becomes a buffoon for the next
but I mean, he's still doing buffoony things, because as we said, like, they make him so jealous of Brian every time he's talking to a woman. And then also, like, the other thing is, like, one, what I did appreciate about this movie is that this is before everybody went to the jujitsu kung fu master schools and learned all of the, because like there's one fight that they have and Roman and Brian have to jump this guy together.
Yeah.
And you know that if that guy fought any of them from like Fast and Furious 4 onwards, they'd just be like karate chopping him in the neck or whatever.
Yeah, before they all became witches, yes.
I think
Geralt.
Rob and I had this discussion. They basically wanted to give him a bit of Dom, but not too much of Don in him, so that we don't feel like he's just a black version of Dom. So hence the comedy and the whole connection that he has with Brian. Like they have beef, but it's more like a brotherly beef.
Yes.
So I think that worked. But now that Dom came back in the later sequels, Roman just had to be funny. Like, yes, you are competent, but Dom is back, so we don't need that little bit of Dom that you had in you before. Just be funny.
No, but I'm saying like they take. But anyway, we'll get to those movies when you get to it. 5.9. I agree with 5.9 for this one.
All right, cool.
Like,
one more point. Yeah, you said.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, anyway, I was saying like the races are all right. The bad guy was forgettable. Most of them are. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But like the chemistry between Tyrese and Paul Walker is okay. Eva Mendez's character was just there to be hot. I don't remember what she did in that movie, but like
that's what I hated.
I don't think it was like a fantastic outing. I think it was like 5.9. It was all right. Like if Paul Walker and Tyrese weren't there, there's no movie.
Yeah.
Ejectocito, cuz.
And also like you could say that also Taj was very helpful in here. This is before he became an IT genius, where he was just a mechanic.
Munna.
Yeah.
Like what school did he go to?
And I just want to say that this was sort of like clickbait of the time, because they hooked us with these great cars in the beginning, because the poster shows all these different cars. They show Michael Ealy, they show that Suki, that Asian chick, that hot chick, Steve Aoki's sister, right?
Yes.
And they show that whole race in the bridge and everything looks great. And that's it. You don't see most of these characters anywhere else apart from when she's with Taj, right? So she's just eye candy.
You were supposed to.
And also this whole thing of decoys, I think, started from here, where there's a whole decoy thing with cars, where people are thrown off. Because if you remember, Taj had a lot of cars that came in the freeway, and the cops couldn't tell where Brian and Roman were anymore, because there's just a whole lot of cars, right? So that trope sort of like carries on into the later films, where they do like switcheroos or stuff like that, where they throw us off, whether it's a false bank vault, or someone was traded in another car under a bridge, or it's like that thing carried on in the other movies.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of things here, like the bank vault. That was perfect. It was kind of nicely done. I mean, but the entire mechanics of it was thrown off. But we kind of sort of at the movie. But the bank vault, that was perfect. It was cool. But everything else, he's saying, it kind of just, it feels phoned in. It feels just reused, rehashed, and unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's also, personally for me, it's also you start seeing the foreshadowing of the ridiculousness coming in.
In 2.
Yeah, because
are you talking about when the car goes into the yacht or the boat or whatever?
That's one. 2, suddenly they've got technology that you can shoot a car and hit it with an electromagnetic that causes the car to shut down.
No, Develo, I'll tell you right now, bro. As a person who just binged these movies again, what you have said is totally believable compared to what they do in the rest of the franchise.
Hence, my say is like it's a foreshadowing. When something foreshadows, it doesn't mean it have to be so brazen and obvious. It's not like in the Iliad when there's a whole subsection where Achilles is busy going on about how much he loves Patroclus for like a page and a half, and you can see, I know Homer is telling you something is going to happen to this guy. I'm telling like there's a slight hint like this is slightly moving away from Because in the first movie, it's about cars and cars crashing and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
now
I'm
we've
saying,
got
like,
this
even in the
greater.
first movie, though, they were doing like crazy heist things, and they were like jumping cars off of freeways. So
Yeah,
for me, I could believe that
but
they had an electromagnetic thing, or that they could land a car. Like, yeah, landing a car on a boat is ridiculous, but I'm like,
yes,
okay, this is still believable. And
uh,
then we get to like Fast and the Furious 4,
yes,
and Dom Toretto turns into Minato from Naruto. He's the fourth Hokage. There's a whole scene, and I swear I can't wait to talk about it when we talk about
yeah.
that movie. But I'm telling you right now, that dude teleported. He
Yeah.
turned
And
into Goku.
I think also like this is probably like the second film where these characters bleed the most. Because in the first one, that was the only time Dom was bleeding. Like after that
No,
accident that
bleeding
he
like
had.
that. He does bleed, but it doesn't. It's not a problem. Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
just there. It's like makeup.
No. Let me
They
explain myself. Let me defend my case, right? And I'm just pulling purely from the context of the first movie to the second one, and how it is introducing us to the ridiculousness of things to come. The first one, yes, there are people doing stunts, jumping into cars, and all that other stuff, but you don't see outlandish technology at work per se.
Mm.
The
I
most
mean,
you
they had the
see
crazy
is
hook gun, but I see what you're saying.
the most you see is it's a hook gun, but you don't see the most you
Dom
see
jumping from an airplane, from a helicopter to like a truck or whatever, to a
Oh
moving
no,
truck.
you don't see a scene where they specifically make a hook gun that is designed to hook into trucks. You know what I mean? You could
Okay.
believe that they bought that gun from America store. You know what I mean? America.
Yeah.
I guess so,
Guns
yeah.
everywhere. In
Right.
this second movie, we have. Excuse me?
No, I was saying like, yeah, you're right. Like, it literally, that is something that can be made. Like, you buy a hook. I mean, you can find a hook in any general store in America. Get yourself a pressure gun, high pressure nose bottle, perfectly done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right.
I mean, good
Maybe on the
luck
boot.
piercing metal cars, but okay.
Then now we come to the second movie where we've got technology specifically designed to mess with the
Okay, I see what you're
electronics
saying,
of the car and shut it
Yeah,
down and whatever.
I feel like American taxpayers would be like, guys, you're wasting money. Like,
What?
you guys
just stop the shoot the tires or something. Come on, man.
like really? Honestly.
EMP gun sounds like a big.
Devilo, you don't know that the tires are
EMP gun
bulletproof
sounds
in
like a
this
what?
series.
Say it again.
You know, someone said that we've never seen these people at the gas station. None of them have been feeling
like, forget that. The
Yeah.
tires are bulletproof. They never get punched by anything.
Rob, what were you saying about an electromagnetic gun?
They land from out of an airplane with parachutes and they land safely. None of them
They
land
drive
upside
out
down.
of a car.
No.
And
Let's go away from all.
Okay, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Sorry, Rob,
Anyway,
you were saying?
it's you, Joe. I think it's you to score, no?
Yeah.
No, Rob was saying something about an electromagnetic gun.
It's fine. No, it's nothing. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I was about to say it sounds familiar from a certain game where an electromagnetic gun tends to screw us around a lot with a certain preferred race, isn't it, fellow Bugman?
What?
For those who don't know, in StarCraft, sorry to bring back to StarCraft, there's an overpowered move called an electromagnetic pulse that the ghost use that depowers all my warriors. I hate them. Their protests are supposed to be powerful, and then some human comes with a gun and just shuts us down every single time. Fix your problem, Blizzard. That is not balanced. Anyway.
Usa.
Did you get it out, dude? Are you good?
Your review, my brat Joe.
What?
Yeah.
Brat Joe.
Yeah.
I think yeah, I'm okay. Let me just fan.
What's your review, Joe?
On two, honestly, just like one, I would say this is a good movie. I love the entire chemistry between these two. You can see the entire back and forth. It's like it's a rehash from the first one, but nothing too used up. It's the Dom relationship he has, but with an old friend. So I would say this one I would still provide it to a 7, but I'm saying 6.6.
6.6. All righty. Not bad, man. Like that. There's no such thing as Zuko.
No.
Tomato?
The salt, anyway.
Hey, I my 6, okay? I'm a 6 man.
I will say, look, this one does drop a few points.
You're not gonna give it points for the council representation.
Look, the first one, I could pretend I was one of the boys and still pervert or good-looking man. This one, I don't get nearly enough eye candy. It's way too much for you guys and not enough for me. The moment I get one scene where this guy takes off his shirt, hey, and I'm like, is that it? Come on, what else? And then we have a Shakespearean level bad guy. By that I mean he's so overdoing it. It's almost that rat scene puts me off. I'm surprised nobody's talking about that scene.
It was uncomfortable
because it's so easy.
Because it was also unnecessary. What was the reason for that rat scene? I'm gonna prove
so that we can tell that the villain is threatening.
Yeah, we can tell that the bad guy is the bad guy, you know.
Which is ironic because it's in the third act. That's a bit late to tell me to be scared of the villain. I will agree with that. That is very late. It's the villain scary in Act 1.
But also, I'm tired of this thing of like having female characters who are cops not being competent at their jobs and relying on the male character to save the day. This happened in White Boys 2. It's happening here.
To be fair, as
also
we go
in Rush Hour,
series,
let's not forget Rush Hour 2.
Are we talking about 2000 Rush Hour? 2000 Bad Boys 2. 2000.
Yeah, that's what I was saying though.
What I'm saying though is as we go through this series,
who do their work, Sandra Bullock and Miss Congeniality, best woman cop out there who does her job, and she looks fucking beautiful.
But I'm saying, look,
but she's the main character.
To be fair, as we continue throughout
and the
these
love
movies,
interest could slam me to the ground and use me like a peanut.
I think I know what Buck's gonna say. They make a change. The movies throughout the time, right?
over time it decides that anybody that's not related to Dom can't do anything, and if you have the power of family, you are immune to gravity, you are immune to bullets,
physics. Yeah.
You are immune to physics. Men, women, it doesn't matter. If you're in the Dom family, you're basically a Super Saiyan.
Oh yeah.
You recognize their mistake there. That's
law-wise, all I want to say is law-wise, you can see that Dom was evolving to a new form. I can't remember at first I thought he was a Super Saiyan. No, I'm gonna take it back. No, it's clearly here his cell. So he just managed to he's just finished absorbing 17 and 18, and he's busy doing the whole transformation scene at the background. That's why you can see the rules of logic slightly break a little, but no, he's not ready to reveal his full power yet. So my score.
What's your rating, Chief?
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 6.5 because I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. The others that I flat out hate, but.
We'll get those ones.
Yeah. So this one I like. I could watch till the end. Happy ending. Even with the subtext, the jilted lovers become best friends. To become lovers later, to find out why I say that. The one bisexual finds another boyfriend. He doesn't know that his boyfriend is already there in the movie, aka foreshadowing that he ends up with a nerd. We'll talk about that later. And. 6.5 is correct. Yeah.
Alrighty, Mr. X.
Okay, so this one is a bit smaller in scale in that you don't have like a really big cast. I mean, it's just Eva Mendes, it's Tyrese, it's Brian, and then you have Taj as like a supporting character in this one. So I guess that makes it a bit different. For me, it's one of the more different movies out of all of them. It feels really small. It feels really small in scale, but I really enjoyed it. From the first time I watched this movie, I really enjoyed it, especially the race that Roman and Brian have against those two other guys. I think there were also villains or something. I don't remember. And
Yeah,
I like the chemistry that Brian has with Eva Mendes. She was not Mia, yes, she was not Jordana Brewster, but she was a nice character. Look wise, was useless,
Yeah. Mia
but
does
look
more
wise, yeah.
stuff. Mia did more stuff,
And
so
then yeah, Tyrese always being hungry and stealing money and whatever. That was funny. I like that. And realizing that Brian might be a cop at heart, but this guy is still that boy from juvie at the end of the day. That's why he keeps breaking the law. So it's a 6 for me.
All right.
Wow.
Oh.
you sounded like you're gonna give it a higher score, Chief.
You know, I was surprised because, like, given the
No, I actually had a 6 in mind before we even got into it. So yeah.
question: how many of us are still? We are all team millennials, aren't we?
Yeah, we're all millennials. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I am, dog. It changes week to week.
Yeah, because somebody says we've come to the age where. Yes, saying?
I'm saying I'm part of the council, but I have no say of the council. I'm a 97.
Yeah, right there.
House. We did not give you master.
Yes.
I'm 95.
Master.
So people say that I'm a
be
senior.
No, that's all I know.
Sorry,
as I was saying before, I was like, we are at an age where brains are beating beauty now, because somebody may be hot, but she can be as dumb as bricks, and we can think, you know what?
No, actually, yeah, that's true. Like,
eye candy doesn't do it anymore. It's
no. Like, I remember, like, there was a time where I was like, oh, bruh, I don't care what she says. That time she's dissing Dragon Ball Z to my face. Now I take personal offense. How dare you, Sully a Kamehameha?
You know, they got thought.
I've seen her bigger than you.
Cool. So my turn. I think this was honestly the least one of my favorite movies. That and one other one. But I actually do think it is competently shot. I just think they failed at what they tried to do. They tried to do more of the same. They obviously do the undercover brotherly love thing. They already did that. So they tried to do like an actual villain with what's his face? Carte Verone, aka Cole Holster.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a disaster. Ironically, the best villain was probably Agent Markham. Like, he was insane. To me, he felt like, the GTA 3, right?
Agent who?
The Dexter's dad.
Oh.
From which one?
Dexter's dad from the TV show Dexter.
No, I'm saying which.
Are you talking about
movie?
Jeremy Renner?
What's happening?
Oh yes. Gotcha. Yeah. Brian's dad.
Sorry, James Remar. Sorry, yes.
Yes, James Remar. I believe Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
No, he was Raiden in that.
Yes.
That one,
yeah. Okay, but I'm saying which Fast and Furious movie was he in?
No, this one.
Oh, you're talking about number 2.
Yes.
He was a villain.
Jeez. No, I don't even remember it.
No. Antagonist, because
wasn't he? He was the one where he kept on telling Brian about to get the things in order.
Yes.
Oh.
He was in the way of the mission all the time.
And all that, yeah.
Oh, now
So yeah. The problem with him is, like, he ended up being the biggest antagonist. He was in the way more often than the actual bad guy. So I feel like I feel like this movie did not. It tried to be bigger, but it ended up just being meaningless. It didn't.
But I guess if you really think about the story, it makes sense because Brian was given a second chance at the precinct or whatever. So it makes sense for you to have a watchful eye on this guy that broke the law.
Yeah, but then the problem is that now it becomes that thing of it's like Spider-Man 3, where it's like now you're fighting Venom, you're fighting Sandman, and now
Green Goblin.
Then Green Goblin is in the mix. Now it's like, who must Spider-Man focus on?
Yeah,
so we get to this, it's like, okay, Brian he's fighting with the FBI, and I feel like it would have been better if they just kind of focused on the FBI guy and did more of that stuff than trying to introduce this villain and then make him menacing in the third act.
That would make actually more sense. Yes. Or combine them. Be like, turns out this guy's corrupt. that, and then you put the villain and the cop together, so it becomes a bad guy. That was a better storyline. Because remember, Tom Berry is his handler, not James Renner. They only meet each other in that movie. His handler is Agent Bulkins or Bulkins.
The black guy, right?
Yes, the black guy. That's his actual handler. But the point is, also enjoy the relationship between Tyrese and Thingamajiggy. It's very chill. I like it. But I think the movie, in my opinion, doesn't achieve its goals. I'm going to give it a 5.5.